Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of my podcast, Finance This, Property That, where we intend to empower financial legacies for generations. This piece is educational and absolutely free to you all. Today, I really wanted to cover off a couple of key questions around what a mortgage broker does and why use a mortgage broker. This question comes up all the time, and I thought I'd debunk a few things and also give you a bit of an insight into what we do and how we do it in a way that you'll understand and could probably relate to. Now, some of you may or may not know that I do like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, so I'll try to tell a story in that sort of way of how we do it. So let's get into it. What does a mortgage broker do? Well, think about it this way. Imagine you're on a quest to find the ultimate treasure, and your journey is fraught with peril, hidden fees, confusing jargon, and the dreaded paperwork monster. It lurks around every corner, and then obviously things like delays and how do you manage that, and also your time, knowledge, and expertise. Is that the best place to be spending it on you doing your work for you? That's when someone like myself, a mortgage broker, swoops in to save the day like a superhero. We not only do the research, find you the best deal. We've got access to over 40 different banks, lenders, their policies, their procedures. And we take all the hassle away from you. Kind of think of it like we're your Gandalf to your Frodo. On top of everything else that we do, we also negotiate the best deal for you. Now, there is a massive myth that I want to debunk, that if you go directly to your bank, you're going to get a better rate. That's not true. The banks can't give you a better rate than what they can give a mortgage broker because, well, one, that's counterproductive to their business and it's not very competitive. So they're kind of blurring the lines between that anti-competition law as well. So we are there, we know the contacts in the banks, and we can really help and negotiate with the right language to get you the best deal for your current situation. Why use a mortgage broker? Like I've just mentioned all the reasons before, the key thing is the difference between us and the banks is that we actually have to act in your best interests. It's called best interest duties. When we're presenting you a strategy or a solution, it's based on your requirements, objectives, and ultimately, like I've just said, in your best interests. As mentioned, over 40 different lenders, over 40 different policies. That's a great starting point that we can really customize the solution to create your financial legacy for you. Again, the bespoke and strategic advice is only the start of the journey, right? What we also look to do is educate and empower people like yourselves to create that generational wealth, just like this podcast is trying to do. Ultimately, why choose a broker? Well, we work for you. We don't work for the banks. If we're talking Lord of the Rings here, the Fellowship of the Rings is, if you think about it, the team behind you, right? So the right broker in your corner with the right support team will get you to where you want to be, I feel, quicker, in a more strategic way, and also provide you with that ongoing guidance and support for things such as pricing reviews and making sure the debt structure is correct and guiding you through that array and maze of policies that different lenders have in order to build your financial legacy. Now, a bit of statistics, guys. This has actually been proven in the latest data from the Mortgage and Finance Association that has revealed that 71.8% of new residential loans were written by mortgage brokers between October and December 2023. This has actually broken the record, which was recorded in September 2022. So that just goes to show you there's the biggest why as to why you should use a broker, because there's consumer support, and we also provide that guidance and expertise in making the most important financial decision of your life to create your financial legacies. in summary, thank you again for joining us in this short, sweet podcast around what does a broker do and why choose a broker. Now, I hope you've taken a little bit of information away. And as always, I don't get paid or give any advertising in this podcast, right? All I ask for you is to help support small business. If you found something that was useful, share it with your network. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So very easy. To show your support, you can follow me on Instagram at Dion Finance Specialist. Feel free to get in touch with me on there and to discuss how we can help. Also, follow the podcast on Instagram at Finance This, Property That. You can also see this podcast in full video on YouTube and listen to it on Apple Podcasts as well. And just before I leave, please remember the advice on this podcast is very general in nature. You should always seek the advice of a professional and make sure and decide what's right for you. Thank you again, and I look forward to empowering financial legacies for generations on the next episode of Finance This, Property That.